Greetings everybody, and welcome back to the landscape. Time for another challenge, I think. I asked in one of my other challenge videos, 1,000 steps or one of them, I can't remember, for some ideas for challenges. And this one came from Keith Pinn. So Keith, thank you very much for this challenge. I hope you and the family are well. And the challenge that Keith offered was 3 images in 30 minutes, and I'm not allowed to move the tripod any more than 2 meters in any direction. So 3 images in 30 minutes, I mean, that sounds easy, doesn't it? And, you know, to be fair, I could just photograph that scene behind me because, well, it's stunning, and you know what, maybe I will. But I'm going to define the 3 images as 3 images that I would include in one of my Camera Club talks. Because the images that I put into Camera Club talks, they're not just any images, they are they're what I would consider to be good. Certainly good enough to advertise me as a creative person, as somebody that one of those Camera Club members would want to go on a workshop with or whatever. So, you know, those images, they're an advertisement. You know, they are portraying me as a photographer. So the 3 images that I want to take today would be 3 images that I will put in a Camera Club talk. So great, that kind of sets a standard. So that standard in 30 minutes, that's actually starting to stretch me a little bit. So in terms of distance, it's quite hard to approximate, but there's a line of bracken here that's about, it's 1 meter and a bit. There's a rock, where the rock face, I suppose you could call it, it sort of drops off this little plateau. So I can't go any further that way. There's some bracken over here. I'm going to delimit that as the boundary, and where you are, which is another line of bracken, that's my other boundary. So I'm going to work within this area here and not move outside of it. Now, how to capture it on video is going to be quite interesting. And I think the only way to do that is to point out things that are of interest, maybe use my little view catcher viewfinder thing and use that as a mechanism to point out the ideas in my head. And the challenge I've got is, there's a nice group of trees here, there's another nice group of trees there, and then we've got this lovely scene in front of me, which is very nice. It's there's a big white house down here which kind of spoils it, but I think I could probably get low and go this way. Yeah, that might be good enough actually. Bring these grasses in as well, which would be quite cool. So I tell you what then, let's start with that view, because come on, right, that view is just begging to be photographed. So let's start with that one, and we'll then look at the thing that bothers me about those trees and those trees is they're very similar, sort of. I'll explain. Let me get my view catcher. Oh, hang on, before we do that, we need to start a stopwatch, don't we? Otherwise, that's not going to be a challenge. Stopwatch, right. Here is my phone. You can see my phone, hopefully. Right. Start. The clock is running. Ah. Okay, so I've moved the video camera. Let's put the view catcher out. And I'm not sure this is going to work with a view catcher actually, because I think the view catcher's not really going to be wide enough to do it. Oh yeah, it is. So we're looking something like like that-ish. So what's key for me is that the land comes into the frame this way, and it also does the same that way, because that creates bookends from a scene. I do need to be a bit careful with the foreground, because as we are right now, there's quite a lot of foreground. I'm not sure whether the house creeps in. Yes, it does. So there's a white house here, which if I get low, so if I just drop this, you see, that's not going to work because the Osmo is going to fight me. But the idea is, if I get low enough, then I can use the foreground to obscure that house, drop that element out. The only thing to be careful of is that there is a tree, I think it's just here, that sticks up, and I need to be very careful that that tree doesn't cut the line of the lake. Because well, I firmly believe in composition that everything should have its own space, and the lake is an object. The little meandering river that you can see, that's an object, so that needs its own space. So I might have to sort of come to my left a little bit, not too much, get low, and take, whoops, other way, and take that house out. The other challenge I'm going to have is, I need to show you those trees, is that there's not a lot going on up in the sky. So I might have to be a kind of a 16 by 9 type frame. So that's interpretation number 1. Interpretation number 2 is, sorry for the wobbly cam, is, I'm not sure this is going to work because I can't see it on the Osmo. Let's just, where are we? We need to come that way quite a lot. Where's the little knoll? And it's just below. So just in here somewhere is a group of trees sat on top of a mound. The display on this Osmo is so small that I can't actually see them. I think they're sort of here-ish. They don't quite stand out from the background. They could do with a bit of light on them to make them stand out. But that would be, they just caught my eye. I mean, if you can imagine that with a really dark, grungy, horrible sky behind it, or just even a spot of sunlight, that would make such a difference. So that's our trees. And the reason why I pointed you in that direction is because, of course, the cloud layer is just, that's just stunning to look at. And it's forecast to do this all day today, which, coming up high, it's just absolutely beautiful to watch. So, scene number 3, and again, the Osmo's going to fight me. So let me just spin round. Whoops. Level. What's going on here? Oh, there we go. The tripod legs are bouncing in the grass. So there is another group of trees that stands out in a different way, and I think it's this group of trees here. Again, it's quite hard to see on the Osmo, and the reason why they stand out is because you've got these lovely pale bark that just, it just stands out from the scene, but also behind these trees it's very green, so that the autumn foliage that's just starting to emerge on these trees, it stands out from the background. So that would be a long lens image, but again, it could just do with a spot of light just to lift it a little bit from the background all around it. I think I'm going to ignore the cloud layer up above unless the cloud layer starts to drop, and maybe it sort of, it comes across the tops of the trees, in which case then I might include it as an atmospheric element. So that scene's going to be with a long lens. I think the other trees that we've just looked at, that's definitely going to have to be a long lens. And our big wide open scene, that's going to be a zoom lens. So the sun has just started to peep out from behind the clouds. I'm not sure that's going to show up on the Osmo, but it has. It's just starting to emerge. So I think those trees over there, they're probably worth shooting now so that I can make the most of that light. And I'm going to have to move quite quickly, and excuse the wobbly cam, but let's just find out where we are on the timer. Where's the clock? So we are 7 minutes into the challenge already. I've burned nearly 10 minutes just talking to you about all of that. Right, let's position the video camera and let's do some photography. So I am getting out the 70-200, which is my Canon 70-200, by the way. I reckon it's going to be square because we are just representing a subject. I'm not going to put you behind the camera for this particular one because I've not got time. I don't want to burn all my time. What do I want to do? Quick select. So I'm going to change it to a square. I'm going to zoom right into 200 millimeters. Yep, that contains the subject. And yes, it has got a wee bit of light around it. I'm now going to level up the camera. There's still some light on the subject. Just for the hell of it, I'm just going to zoom out a little bit and see whether if I included a little bit of cloud. Yeah, that's quite nice actually. It just adds an atmospheric element to the scene. Right, okay, fine. So I'm going to focus right on the trees. Be at f8. Come on. There we go. 2-second timer, nice and level. Come on. Right, image number 1. Now, I rushed that, and I know I rushed it, but I rushed it for a reason. I rushed it because there was some light on those trees over there. That's why I rushed it. Now, the kicker is, do I do that scene or do I do this one here? Now, at the moment, there is some light over here on the mountains in the distance, and the cloud has just started to break up. So I think the right thing to do is to spin the camera around, swap the lens, and do that one there, I think. Yeah, I reckon so. Right, I'm just going to move the video camera so you have a better view. Okay, so just to save you the pain of me watching me set the camera up, I've swapped lenses. I'm now on my 28-70. I've also swapped the frame size to a 16:9. Now I know I've got a little bit of time to play with, which is good because, just get a quick time check, go back to the stopwatch, 16 minutes. There we go, 16 minutes. So I've got a little bit of time to play with, but there's a, water taxi, a launch that goes across the lake in front of me. And at the point at which I set up, it was bang in the middle of the water. And I just, no, don't want that. I want the water to be just the water. Now, polarizer, does the polarizer make any difference? Because the lake is very bright. I don't think it'll make a huge amount of difference at all. Oh, it takes a smidge of the glare off. So, yep, I'll use the polarizer because it actually helps me. What lens have I got on? Where's the 67 one? There it is. Right, let's put that on. What I've discovered I don't need to do is to get low and obscure that house. It's not in my composition. I have come, my bag is where I used to, where I started, it used to be, where I started. I have come maybe half a metre or so to my left because of that tree. That tree was cutting the lake, and no. I don't want to cut the lake. I want the tree to have its space, the lake to have its space, and that meandering river to have its space. Now, because of the blank sky, I have gone 16 by 9 just to constrain what's going on top and bottom. But in my composition, I have got, you know, that a falling hillside idea that I talked about when I was behind the Osmo. Right, so I'm going to go in a little bit tighter. Let's just brighten up that. And because I've got a little bit of time, I will show you the composition that I'm going to go for. But what I will do is I'm going to put the grad in first. So looking at the histogram's actually very good. No shadows, no clipped highlights. But I'm going to give myself maximum opportunities when I get home. It's very, very, very bright. So I'm going to go for a deep grad, because then what I can do is I can vary how deep the grad comes into the frame. Don't have to use the whole thing. Paranoid about putting the holder on as well. I'm always terrified the damn thing will drop off. Give it a wiggle. No, it's fine. Right, put the grad in and then drop it over the sky. Oh yes, that makes a big difference. Oh gosh, yes, that does make a difference. Right, so much so, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what that looks like on the back of the camera, because actually that looks pretty good. Right, how are we doing for time? How are we doing for time? Can't burn too much time. 20 minutes gone. We're going to have to be quick. Right, you are going to have to forgive wobbly cam, but I haven't got time to do this any better. So there's my composition. If I have a look at the histogram quickly, you can see the histogram is nice and controlled, and it's not difficult to see the grad. The grad is there, introducing this dark layer up above. I mean, in post, oh, in fact, no, hang on, I can do it in camera because I can do 21 by 9. Oh, look at that. Right, so if I bring, there we go. Look at that, rock and roll. There we go. Now, top and bottom is even more constrained. So I'm just going to bring the grad up a bit more and just bring it down ever so slightly so it just cuts into the sky. There we go. Lovely. There we are. That is my composition. Very happy with that. Very happy indeed. So in terms of focus, I am going to focus probably on this tree because it's quite prominent. So let's, where's the tree? There's the tree. Boom, boom, boom. And then we're going to go for F16, which should mean at least everything here is nice and sharp. If the mountains in the background and all the rest of it are ever so slightly blurry, do you know what? You're not really going to see. So, whilst we're here, let's take that image for it to be image number 3. Yeah, no boats going across the lake, a little bit of polarization, lovely. Right, one more to go. And Let's do a quick time check. Where is the stopwatch? Don't waste time looking at the stopwatch, Hugh. No, you need to waste time looking at the stopwatch. We are 22 minutes in. 23 minutes in now. Right, one more to go. 26. 26:39. God, tell you what, you spend a lot of time doing the setup. Right, I can't wait for the light. I'm just going to have to go for it. Ideally, I'd prefer to wait for the light. I swapped to the longer lens. This is my 70-200. I'm going to be at about 200 millimeters. No, just over 100 millimeters actually. Make sure the camera is level. I'm going to move the focus point onto the tree in readiness. There's a horrible little rock. Damn it. No, come on, let's go a bit closer. So I've gone square again because I have a subject, just a subject. So we are focused on the subject, nice and level. Histogram looks good. I wish the sun had come out and I had a spot of light on it, but I don't. So 27:46. Let's have a look. All right, the sun is not going to come out. I'm just going to have to go for it and do what I can in post. There's another tree alongside it. No. There's a rock that's bothering me on the left-hand side, but I think we're going to have to just clone that. Let's just recheck focus. Yep, that's good. 28:14. Bang. Yep, I think that's as good as I'm going to get it. Let's just have a quick look. And we are, hopefully you can see that, 28:38. Job done. And I think it's raining over there. That was actually a lot harder than I thought it was, or I thought it would be. What did that challenge teach me? I think it definitely taught me about the importance of light, because I was taking those images under pressure. You know, the clock was ticking and I couldn't wait for that perfect moment. I just had to get on with it. So, I don't know, to some extent that was compromising the result, I guess. But, oh, darn it. Sorry, now I'm rushing because I'm trying to pack everything away before that rain shower over there gets here. But, I mean, it was fun. And Keith, thank you very much for giving me that challenge, because it was fun. It was actually quite good fun to try and capture it on video as well. Maybe we can get a bit of a discussion going about the 3 scenes that I picked from this location. I'm sorry I keep going in and out of shot, but I am trying to pack up for a reason. If you've got a challenge that you would like me to do, then stick a comment in the comments section below and let me know what you'd like me to have a go at. And maybe also indicate what it is that we might learn from doing that challenge. I mean, this one is just about, I guess, putting a little bit of pressure on me to not sit around and wait for that perfect moment, but to react to what's in front of me. So I guess maybe that's the lesson to learn, is put yourself under a little bit of pressure, force yourself to make some decisions, can't talk, because, well, I guess that might actually end up producing you a result, rather than procrastinating all the time about waiting for the perfect moment and waiting for the light. But there we go. Interesting. Right, I'm going to leave this video here. If you like landscape photography, please do consider becoming a subscriber if you're not already. Hit the subscribe button, and then if you hit the bell button alongside, then you'll get notified as to when I upload new content. If you've liked this content, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up button. It helps the exposure for my channel. It also helps the exposure for this particular video. So until we're out in the landscape again, please everybody stay well, stay safe, and please do look after each other. Take care. Cheerio for now. I have a funny feeling the rain's going that way. I might miss it. That would be a blessing. Right, lunchtime is calling.